What is up, DTube Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk about a concept that I want to call smartphones paying for themselves, and what I mean basically with that. So I was kind of excited about doing this video, especially when I ran the numbers, because it's pretty impressive, to be honest. So we geeks have sort of knew it a long time, seeing the market, seeing new smartphones that since around 2015 the smartphone market sort of has been saturated. There is not that much that has happened, and we sort of been waiting for sort of new technology to come when we sort of max out hardware, mostly because most people do not play games, so they're just looking for the best software. And the best software experience now is with blockchain technology, with crypto. And then you can sort of get into this mode eventually where smartphones are paying for themselves. So let me explain what I mean. So the last couple of years, we have seen the smartphone industry mainly focus on making better cameras. Front-facing camera, back camera. So if you, let's say, have a new phone, and let's say it costs $1,000, it's probably going to last 2 years. So then it would cost, to always have like peak smartphone, if it lasts 2 years, it would cost $500 per year, because you would only upgrade every second year. So let's run the numbers here. How much would a person need to earn to always have peak smartphone done? If it's $1,000 every 2 years, I ran the numbers, and it's basically $1.3 per day that a person needs to earn. Let's say they're doing videos on a daily basis because they have peak smartphone and they're using blockchain technology and they're earning $1 a day. Then basically, if you really run the numbers, they can, if the value stays the same and they're earning $1.3 a day, they can always be on peak smartphone. Or what I mean is peak smartphone every second year. So you're not upgrading every year, just the second year. But even if you're just upgrading this every second year now, you're pretty good. You're pretty good, because a peak smartphone, it does last 2 years and you get pretty great experience even on the peak year, right? So you get into this very, very interesting mode where if you really take a look at it, it seems like everyone is going to be on peak smartphone eventually. Everyone is going to have the best smartphone, because everyone will eventually, it looks, be able to have the smartphone and do something with it, some creative thing, and use new technology, blockchain or crypto technology, and earn that $1 a day. And it really adds up. And just because we're in an exponential industry, that dollar may even 5x or something like that. And then you're even ahead, like you're even more ahead of the curve. Then you can even buy one every year. But I sort of look at it from the usability perspective, and I'm still running on the Galaxy S8. And I'm still running on, let's say, OnePlus 5, I think it's called. And now they have like, or maybe it's OnePlus 6 I'm using right now. I'm not quite sure, but I'm like, wow, this video camera, front-facing camera, is amazing. Like, it has amazing quality. And it's like, do I need OnePlus 6, 7, 8, or 9, or whatever number they're on right now? I think I missed like 3 of them to buy. And it's like, you sort of look at it, and it really is like the car industry that you can run on way, way, way older. Like, you really do not need the latest version. Now, I look at it from this perspective of, if the latest version really has some magical thing that really change the game and really can add me massive value. For example, some camera that do something magical, then maybe it would be worth it, or some software that is like some new software, right? Or something that just comes exclusive with a phone. But now it's kind of cool because the cloud stuff, the blockchain stuff, they already have thought about this. And they realize, well, the smartest thing is just to have some software that just runs on every computer and just decentralize it like that, and then you can sort of make value with those systems. So the blockchain stuff already is ahead in terms of they're sort of looking at what potential issues can come in the future and sort of what people want to do with technology. And so you get into this mode where smartphone basically can pay for itself. That it either, one example is this idea of like making videos. Like I'm doing videos, I'm talking, I'm like thinking about stuff. That's one way smartphone can sort of make money, but there might even be other ways. Maybe the smartphone eventually has some great AI software and you have a great GPU, so you can sort of run the whole thing on your device, and it can sort of identify cool ways to make value. Maybe it can gather research intelligence and sort of just making some dollar here and there. And then it's like, and then you can just have the device lay somewhere and it can just do stuff automatic. Who knows? It might happen, and then it's really, really interesting how, just because it's like you cut off so many middlemen. So for example, if you earn $1.3 a day in a fiat system, that would not be enough, because you have to earn like maybe $3 or maybe $4 a day, because taxes and middlemen, and there's so many banks that wants their cut, there's so many companies that wants their cut, and eventually when you get your little slice, so maybe you're then earning like $5 or $6 a day, but it's in the fiat system, so you need to earn way more because everyone needs their cut, and then maybe you need to earn like $5 a day. But when it's only like $1.3 a day and you can have like peak smartphone every 2 years, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool when you start to run the numbers. So sure, the price has gone up a bit on smartphones compared to 2012. I could get the Galaxy S3 2012 for around $700. I think it was even maybe $600, maybe $650, and now maybe I have to pay $1,000 for a new smartphone. But here's the thing: even if I got that device early 2012 and I maybe used Instagram or something, or maybe I used YouTube, the whole infrastructure behind a lot of advertising and stuff like that, it was not in place. There just wasn't like this year you have more modern infrastructure. So you're paying more for a phone, but you're also then getting access to a lot of other people that also have modern smartphones and also have amazing infrastructure and also running on blockchain technology. And also, so it's like when everyone has the best hardware, even if it's a little bit more expensive, you can make value much quicker. And other people running on the best technology, and they also have more increased awareness compared to 2012. So it's more about the network effect, that the network really can produce a lot of value, and that I'd rather take that in many ways than go back 2012 and have that price but no infrastructure. And because if I go back to 2012 and I would talk about this that I'm talking about right now, that sort of you can record videos and you can make like tokens. You could not really do that in 2012. Yeah, sure, we had the Bitcoin, but we did not have the Steam blockchain. We did not have some social media thing like the Steam blockchain. So even if I could go back and like, you can get this device, Galaxy S3, and you have to pay 30% less, but you have no infrastructure, no kind of token-based system, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna pay a little bit more and be in a modern world where it's like, you can actually make value by just recording something and just be genuine. So stuff is in many ways getting better. It kind of is getting better. And there's a lot of gimmick stuff that I look at. A lot of gimmick stuff, like, sure, you can record a video in like 2K, or you can record it in 4K. I could already do that 2014, but you sort of see it with the Sony camera for $2,000. But you sort of see it, okay, that was a little bit cool, but you sort of see that nobody's really gonna need this right now because the infrastructure is not in place. People don't have the hardware or the software to do it. I can't even play like a 4K video or 2K video almost on my MacBook Pro from 2016. It's like, and that computer cost like $1,500. So you see it. So I'm like, I'm good with like 720p. 720p is still amazing. It is the common ground. You sort of try to find common ground where with sort of the age that you live in. So for example, now we can sort of piggyback back on YouTube with a lot of hosting and stuff like that, and you can sort of get good quality, and it's sort of win-win from all sides. So it's interesting to follow this industry, and it's very cool when you really run the numbers that $1.3 a day in just liquid value on a daily basis, then you basically can have peak smartphone every 2 years. It's fascinating, right? That $1.3 in a day and like in a token-based system, that results to around $470 or around $500 per year. That is kind of cool. That adds up pretty fast. And this is, again, the stuff that we're going to see in sort of when everyone moves sort of to token-based systems, right? When everyone has the best hardware and the software, and they sort of see it as this fiat system is slow. It makes no sense to use this. I'm probably going to see it in 2025 or something like that. And then a lot of people are going to see, okay, I'm just going to use this new technology because now it's sort of mature and stuff like that. And we can see that, yeah, token-based system, everyone is using it. The infrastructure is here. People are creating amazing content. People are curating. The whole infrastructure is there. Then it gets kind of cool. So yeah, it's cool how you get to this point where devices, hardware and software is going to start to pay for itself. We are still in this phase where it's like scarcity of information, where you have the paywalls and you have a bunch of middlemen, like annoying middlemen everywhere that sort of tries to make their cut. And then it's like the middleman, just give them a smartphone that just makes value automatic by doing something. Like that is like way better. So eventually the smartphones are going to pay for themselves, and people can get the more new hardware and software that actually do something all the time, that maybe it mines something or whatever. And then we're probably going to see the same thing in terms of the with cars, that eventually cars can basically, when they have self-driving stuff and things like that, maybe 2025, that they can go on missions themselves, and they can transport packages and stuff like that. If you have empty in the back, and then maybe you get microtransactions for that, and all these microtransactions can become very, very lucrative. It just makes people do stuff with stuff they already have, with like the resources they already have. They sort of see microtransactions coming in, and then they're sort of doing more work, and everyone wins. That is eventually where you sort of want to see all this. So it's very, very interesting, because then you see how early it is, because a lot of people are running on a Galaxy S5, Note 4, a lot of old devices, and then it's going to be as, well, you don't have to do that. You just have to earn like $1 a day, and you're good. Like, you're good. You can always be on peak, right? And we already see this in many ways. Many people are not paying all of the amount instantly. They are paying for 2 years, so so many people are already having like the best devices, and it's kind of cool, the infrastructure itself, when people are available, when you have, because then you have like a perfect access system eventually, and a lot of it is just about awareness. A lot of it is like everything's already here in many ways. But it's like it's about that awareness phase of that knowledge sort of many ways needs to spread, so everyone is on the same kind of ground, and that everyone is running on the new systems. Then it's going to be really, really epic. So yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. It's just fascinating. it's fascinating because it's a lot of these hidden costs that sort of gets cut away with token-based systems, because you're instantly going to the source of where value should be, and that's good. Like, that is so good. Cuts away all these weird middleman, like taking their cut and stuff like that. And you realize, and these people also eventually going to realize it, that the new system's going to be a win-win for everyone. It's not going to be some kind of game where someone is losing, because eventually everyone's going to win on better systems, better technology. It's going to be quite obvious eventually. So yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. That is an interesting concept, and now I haven't even added in all the exponential trends of technology, of that, and that kind of compound effect, and that it's just so cool. It's just a very cool time, right? A very cool time. Have a great day, DTube, Steam Blockchain. Bye bye.